Hey, what is going on, you salty slacking? Coming at you with a Zoroark VSTAR deck profile in the Stellar Crown format today. Zoroark VSTAR's been around for a while. It's always been pretty lackluster, though, I'm not going to lie. But the big upgrades from Stellar Crown could be enough to push it to the top. Only time will tell. Before we jump into it, though, if y'all want to not just be beating your opponent, but beating them in style, then you got to pick up yourself some TC Evolutions accessories. They've got dice, damage counters, ability markers, VSTAR markers, you name it, they got it. Highest quality premium accessories in the game. TCEvolutions.com. Of course, the link will be in the description, and code AzulGG will get you a discount over there as well. So Zoroark VSTAR, 270 HP, effective stage 1 Pokemon. The Ticking Curse does 50 damage for each of our damaged Pokemon in play, and then it's VSTAR power. Once during your turn, during the game, you can discard your hand and draw 7 cards. So it's like effectively a research on a VSTAR power. So pretty straightforward, pretty consistent VSTAR power. So we got 3 Zoroark VSTAR as our main attacker. We have 4 Zoroark Vs to evolve up into our VSTAR. And then we've got the Gengar with the Netherworld Gate. Once in your turn, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put it onto your bench. If you do, put 3 damage counters on it. So this is the main way that we build up damage in play on our Pokemon, so we can fuel the Zoroark VSTAR's attack. And we play 4 of these. We don't play 4 of them to put 4 of them on our bench, although I guess that could happen. We play 4 of them so we can find them and more easily discard them. And then for a little bit of extra damage buildup and draw power, I've got a 2/2 Dodrio in here. And I'm not sure Dodrio is the best form of draw support to play in this deck. We could go with the Noctowl instead, or B-Barrel, I guess. But the Dodrio is the coolest one, so I'm sticking with that for now. So 2/2 Dodrio, its attack, zooming draw, draws 1 card, and then places 1 damage counter on itself. And it is also a nice 1 prize attacker, although Gengar can do that for us as well. With that Ballistic Beak, we do 30 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. 10 plus 30 damage. So we can hit pretty hard if we build up like 9 damage counters on it. Now, we're not going to use Zooming Draw 9 times. The game will probably be over before we can do that. But we do have the damage pumps in here to move the damage around, which could build up to a pretty stacked Dodrio. And we have Charge Bug. Fan Rotom, we have 1 of Fan Rotom in here to help us fill our bench more aggressively. Mainly just a combo with Dodrio. I'm actually not sure if this is worth it, but it's in here for now. Fan Rotom, Fan Rotom, for anyone who doesn't know, super powerful card, especially with Noctowl, but also with Dodrio as well. I don't want to sleep on Dodrio. It's got that Fan Call ability. We can only use it on our first turn of the game. We can only use 1 of them on our first turn of the game. You can search your deck for 3 colorless Pokemon that have 100 HP or less and put them into our hand. Pretty broken, so we could find like double Doduo plus 1 Dodrio, or if we already have access to 1 Doduo, we could find 1 Doduo plus double Dodrio, and then just turn 2 double Dodrio on board is pretty sick. Also, its attack is kind of gross as well. For a colorless energy, we do 70 damage if there's a stadium in play. We're knocking out Charmander's turn 1 potentially. The attack actually is disgustingly powerful, I'm not gonna lie. 2 Terrapagos in here, so this is the only Terra Pokemon we play in here. This is what fuels our access to the Terra cards, which is just area depth 0. And we can also use it as an attacker as well. So we've got the 230 HP, and this attack does 30 damage times the number of our bench Pokemon. So we can hit for 240 damage if we have 8 bench Pokemon. We only play double Turbo Energy to be able to attack with this, though. So we'd be looking at 220 damage, which is still decent. Not quite as hard as Zoroark can hit. With access to 8 bench Pokemon with Area 0, Zoroark can hit for 450 damage, 430, because we'll have a double turbo. We don't really need to hit that hard, but we do need to hit for, probably around like 300 damage pretty consistently. The Radiant Charge Bug. All right, let's talk about this. I know some of y'all are scoffing at it. I don't think there's really a better Radiant to run in here. Radiant Alakazam is not as good anymore because we don't play Bog. And Radiant Greninja's not great. Radiant Charizard would be okay-ish, but still not great. We already have like 1 prize attacking options that are pretty decent. So I've gone with the Radiant Charge Bug here because it says whenever we attach an energy, whenever either player attaches an energy from their hand to one of their V Pokemon, they put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. So we can get the Charge Bug in play early, and then we can start attaching to our Zoroarks, and that will build up damage in play on Pokemon in play, which leads to more damaged Pokemon, which means our Zoroark is hitting harder. So I like the idea of the Radiant Charge Bug. Of course, haven't tested it out yet, so I don't know how good it actually is, but I'm happy to give it a home for now because I feel like Radiant Charge Bug has never had its moment, and this could finally be it for the bug. Aggressive draw power here in the Squawkabilly and Pheasantipity. Can't go anywhere without these 2 in the current format, it feels like, to be honest. For the supporters, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We got 4 research, 3 Iono, and 3 Boss's Orders, and then the big item card in the deck, the Damage Pump. It allows us to move up to 2 damage counters from one of our Pokemon to any of our Pokemon in any way we like. So specifically, we can abuse that very well with Gengar, because Gengar, when it comes into play with its ability, puts 3 damage counters on itself when it comes from our discard pile, so then we can then damage pump 2 of them off the Gengar to 2 other Pokemon in play, and then the Gengar is effectively fueling our Zoroark VSTAR for plus 150 damage through just 1 Gengar damage pump combo. And that's one of the main reasons the Noctowl might be a little bit better than the Dodrio. It's not constant draw support throughout the game, but it can more aggressively find our damage pumps, is what the Noctowl can do. So this is definitely some floating space right here with the Dodrio. So if you want to try out the Noctowl, I would immediately cut those for the Noctowls. Give it a shot. Why not? I just like the idea of the Dodrio a little bit more. Pokemon search cards, very simple here. For Nest Ball, for Ultra Ball. Going aggressive with the Prime Catcher as our ace spec. To switch in here as well to move our Pokemon around. Some of them do have decently hefty retreat cost, and we don't play a ton of energy, so if we whiff the turn 1 attachment, we can't go like attach retreat on turn 2 with some of the Pokemon, so we do need some amount of switch cards in here. Light on the Pokemon recovery, just 1 Night Stretcher, and that's because even though we do play Area 0 Underdepth, which is the stadium that gives us access to 8-bench Pokemon, even if our opponent bumps the stadium, if we can find another one to put into play, we can just refuel our bench with Gengars from the discard pile that we discarded off Area 0 Underdepth. So the Gengars are kind of like infinite Pokemon. As long as we have a Terra Pokemon in play to give us access to Area 0, then the Gengars are infinite fuel for our bench. We want to draw pretty aggressively through our deck, I feel like, so I've gone with 4 Trekking Shoes in this build. Finding the double turbo energy and the stadium cards are like the big things. Trekking Shoes effectively give us a smaller deck to work with, which means we're more likely to see our good cards sooner, so just play good cards. So yeah, 4 Area 0, of course. It is what fuels our big attacker in the Zoroark, and then 1 Luminous Energy and 4 double turbo energy. The Luminous Energy I'm not sold on, and we could possibly play some more energy if we wanted to. I went with the Luminous, though, kind of as a meme. Our main 1 prize attacker is probably the Dodrio, but we could also attack with Gengar. It does require a Psychic Energy and does 20 damage for each of our opponent's bench Pokemon to the active Pokemon. Also, the Charge-a-Bug for 1 Lightning Energy does 30 damage to one of our opponent's Pokemon. So you never know when the Gengar or the Radiant Charge-a-Bug could come in clutch. So as long as I got the Charge-a-Bug in here, I think I'm going to go with the Luminous Energy. But there is an argument to play a Basic Energy because Night Stretcher can only recover basic energy. All right, that's the list. Let's go ahead, let's shuffle up and play a quick solitaire game. All right, just about all shuffled up here. And with these solitaire games, like I always do, I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend that we won the coin flip. And I think with this deck, we probably will be wanting to go first. Pretty aggressive hand. Got that Squawkabilly start. No complaints, no complaints. Go ahead and lay out our prize cards here. We're pretty tight over there. There we go. And yeah, let's go ahead and pretend we are going first. Go draw for turn. To the Dodrio, excuse me. Definitely don't want to see that this early. Oh well. Go into the Trekking Shoes first because I wouldn't mind discarding a Pokemon. Oh, the Prime Catcher. Oh my goodness. So I think we're giving it up here. That feels bad. Got an Ultra Ball. Okay, so I can Ultra Ball away Gengar and Dodrio, and then Ultra Ball away Iono and Stretcher. And then play a Nest Ball as well. So that finds us 3 Pokemon, and then we can go into the Squawk and Seas with the Squawkabilly. Okay, I don't hate it. I don't hate it, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and get ourselves the Zoroark V. And I don't really want the Fan Rotom in this situation because we don't have that much to get off of it. So I think I'll just go with the Doduo. And, you know, just because he's in here, I feel like I got to get him in. I got to get him involved. Got to get him in play. So I think I am going to go with that Charge-a-Bug as well. So I'm going to go with those 3 right there. And the other thing we could have done would be to Ultra Ball for another Gengar and discard that instead. But this seems fine. We're down our Stretcher and our Prime Catcher already. That feels bad. Hopefully this Squawkabilly is pretty good. All right, draw 6 here. 4, 5, and 6. Not terrible. We got that Ultra Ball for the Zoroark VSTAR next turn. So I'll bench the other Zoroark because we'll definitely want that. Attach for turn. I don't have any dice once again, but Charge-a-Bug would build up 2 damage counters there. Just remember that. Just remember that that's there. And then I think we're passing from here. Yeah, pass. Pass over to our opponent. They play through their turn. Do they KO our Squawkabilly? Let's go with no. Let's say Squawkabilly survives a turn. Top deck boss. Okay, from this hand, we kind of want the switch. We want the Ultra Ball, and we kind of want that damage pump as well. So I think it's going to be a situation where we play the Ultra Ball. Go get ourselves that Zoroark VSTAR. switch into the Zoroark VSTAR. Now we have that damage built up on our Zoroark VSTAR from the Charge-A-Bug, so we'll damage pump one of those over to the Charge-A-Bug. And then Zoroark VSTAR, Phantom Star, draw 7. 5, 6, 7. We're not hitting the big numbers we're looking for, but let's go into that Trekking Shoes. Damage pump. Might have to go and discard that here. We need to find... Well, I don't hate the research, to be honest. Go with the double turbo energy here. That would have been a reason to keep the damage pump, to be honest, because we could have moved it over. Play the research. We're looking for Terapagos plus Stadium here. There's Terapagos. No Stadium. There we go. That's what we're talking about here. And we got another damage pump to work with as well. So let's start with Nest Ball, because we're going to go get the other Terapagos out of the deck. Nope, it is prized. Never mind. Always check your prize cards, kids. All right. Boom. Comes the Terapagos. Area 0. We have access to 8 bench now. Hold on. I'm going to hit him with a zoom and draw here. Serendipity. Okay. And now we can activate our Gengars from our discard pile. Bench is going to get a little wide here. Let's go ahead and stack the Gengar. So we're looking at 5, 6, 7. Go ahead and bench the Serendipity as well. And then we have a damage pump. So I can move 2 from one of the Gengars, spread them out a little bit, put it over on the Terapagos and the Serendipity. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damaged Pokemon in play. That is 400 damage, minus 20, 380. That's still good enough. Whatever their active is, it's done. It's cooked. Knockout. And we got, well, I'm hoping it's worth 2 prize cards. That'd be a whole lot to do for 1 prize card. There we go. And that is going to be my initial take on Zoroark VSTAR in the Stellar Crown format. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Catch you on the next one.